So in the wedding world at the moment, there is a massive issue, specifically with wedding photography. It's a problem that's been around for quite some time, and it's probably going to be around for, well, forever really. But it's something that not many people are willing to talk about. Maybe they're just uncomfortable talking about it. Maybe they're not, I don't know, really clued up on it. Who knows? Whatever. I want to talk about it because this is something that affects me, and it affects just about every other wedding photographer on the planet. Bold statement, I know, but it's true, and I promise you, as soon as I say it, you will go, yes, that is a problem. But what is it? Well, I think we need to take a closer look at this. So, the wedding industry here in the UK is a multi-million pound industry. It's huge. USA, it's probably £1 billion industry. It's absolutely massive. There are literally thousands of people all across the world that make their living from the wedding industry, and some of them make a pretty decent living too, which, you know, fair play to them. If they're making a good living, fair play to them. My issue is this, and it's not just my issue, it's an issue that everybody has. You see, there's so many people that start doing or coming into the wedding world, into wedding photography, that literally have no idea what they're doing. And they are charging bride and grooms premium money for service that they don't know what they're doing. Now, I've got no issue with people wanting to be a wedding photographer. If you want to be a wedding photographer, be a wedding photographer. My only thing is, know what you're doing, learn from somebody. But there's so many people that aren't. They're literally going into a shop, buying the camera because they've got a wedding at the weekend, and then asking the shop assistant, how do I change the aperture? How do I change the shutter speed? You see, the problem this causes is it's undervaluing our entire industry. People are turning up, they're doing weddings, they're charging premium price for a poor product. I've got no issue with somebody wanting to start a career in wedding photography, but please understand, they must do it correctly. If they come along and they shoot a wedding and they don't understand basics like shutter speed, aperture, ISO, then what does that say? It means basically they don't know what they're doing. This is a massive problem. I don't care who you are, you will have to face this. We call them Uncle Bobs here in the UK, or weekend warriors. These are people that simply have full-time jobs, and then they come out to weddings on the weekends, and they don't know what they're doing. And then the bride and groom are like, well, my images are rubbish. Well, yeah, they are. But the problem is, they've got the bookings because they've gone to a workshop. Now, just to be super clear, no issue with workshops themselves. My issue is, because these people go to workshops, they get bride and groom pictures, which are just simply models. They know how to pose. They've got somebody that set up the lighting, explained how the lighting works on that particular course, in that particular scenario. And then people are using these images to get bride and grooms booking them. This is bad. The problem is this: when somebody charges decent money for wedding photography, the bride and groom expect decent photos, a decent product. But when that photographer can't produce those photos because they haven't got the skill set, but they're still charging because they've been into a shop, asked the shop assistant, well, how do I change my shutter speed? It's not, they just don't know what they're doing, and they're charging good money for this. And then what happens is people find out about these stories about other photographers that have done this to them, and then we get painted with that same brush. It's devaluing our industry. I don't even know if I've made sense there. We need to try and talk about this. There's so many photographers I speak to and they go, yeah, this is a big problem, but nobody's actually talks about it any further than just a quick chat over a coffee. And I want to talk about it now because it's a real big issue. It's a big issue here in the UK. The weekend warriors, the Uncle Bobs, they turn up. They buy nice cameras sometimes, you know, buy like the Nikons and the Canons, you know, the 1Ds or the D5s, but they've got no idea. I bought the Olympus OMD Mark 1, Mark 2, whatever it was, only a couple of weeks ago. And I swear to God, the shop assistants at that point was just having a bit of a natter, as you do. And they said, yeah, we get people in all the time saying, yeah, I've got a wedding in a couple of days' time. Can you tell me how to change shutter speed? It's just like, my mind is just like, boom, how can this be? But it happens all the time. Right guys, I want to be really clear about this. My problem isn't with new photographers. Photographers actually take the time to actually come into the job and learn the job, learn actually how to operate a camera. Basically, I've got no issues with these people. They are taking their time and actually wanting to learn the job. These people, no problem at all. We've all got that right. I started somewhere, you started somewhere. The problem isn't with these people, it's the people that just don't know what they're doing. They drive me nuts. I'm sure they drive you nuts too. So what do we actually do about this issue? Do we have pitchforks at the ready, chasing people on the street? I don't think so. That's not going to work. We need to try and educate people, or educate venues. That would be a really good thing. Basically, if every single venue, whether it's a big stately home, a barn somewhere, even, I don't know, registry office, wherever it is, simply ask every single photographer for insurance details. This will help weed out people that treat this job as some just sort of pocket money making scheme, I guess, because this is our livelihood. This is how I put food on the table for my family. So this is really, really important for me. So guys, is this something that you've come across? I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've got your own stories. Well, let's talk about it. Tell me what you know or you think below, and I'll answer back as much as I can, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video. And if someone's got some really good suggestions on how we can actually tackle this problem, well, the more the better, really. So let me know what you think, and I'll get back to you.